3rd May do internationally World Press Freedom Day manai guina amian sa prajani na ase to ahibi aji World Press Freedom Day la opore yade Kohima de ekta print media laga representative ekta bra tan journalist khan kinya kam gore no issue gole over the years tan bi kinya kam guna ise aro challenges khan bi face krishna kranai itu kan la opore aro reporter la view rabi tai khan feel they report krina jayam de what are the hardships that they face or maybe what are the rewards that they reap out of being a field reporter itu kan la details de all up World Press Freedom Day la opore report all up dikhai lobo The viewers kan kuanish na do aji World Press Freedom Day la opore yade ekta moan la guest ekta junto ekta renowned reporter ekta ase moan Dimapur Kohima Nagaland ge issue gule sob kinarde itu reporter dibalwa janina ase to I mean reporter la standpoint rabi tai khan journalist ishna ka kam karna I have khan bi kinya face kare no issue gule how do they exercise their journalism laga issue people operate detail all of side of so thank you so much for speaking to us and kindly give an introduction.
Okay, I am Kepesinyo Kebo. I have been working with Hornbill TV for 4 years now as a ground reporter, field reporter. Yeah. So अपनी field reporter यहाँ काम करना है अपनी लगा एक्स्ट्रा सबसे challenging एक तरह See, first of all, there are many other journalists also, and who has been working for the past for almost 2-3 decades also, and I just started off. And to be very honest, I would say I might not be the right person to speak also, but digital media, broadcasting media is highly can see we are still very young, but it seems to be we were amongst the first 4 years, all of us also into again. Let me share my personal experience, although others seniors better. Well, most challenging I've been recently also maybe but for me the most challenging will be to get information data, especially government data. Very difficult. See, as a ground reporter, you have to go out and being a satellite channel and broadcasting media, you have to bring them to the screen. But that's one of the most challenging and challenging in what way, especially government department. Sorry, they will always refer us to their higher ups. And then from their higher ups, again higher up. In the end, it is the director who has to give the approval also. So, see, considering the work schedule also, directors most of the time, they are unable to come. So when there are some pressing issues which you want to raise and which the public also wants you to raise, that's where your report stops. Because at the end of the day, you need data. Fine, they don't want to come on screen, just give us the data. Then also many a times they are unable to. Maybe, I don't know, sometimes for fear of the way we are going to present the news, maybe, but most of the times higher ups again, and that's where our report stops. For me, I think report itu bang sapi try for government department na is so difficult and challenging for me. Apart from the challenging factor, what was one of the most rewarding situation or maybe that you faced? Actually, I love that question because see, comparing to others, for us field reporters, ground reporters, we go out. And in a place like Dimapur, the traffic jam is like heavy also at Kohima. But if you compare Kohima and Dimapur, it's the weather. Especially summer day, you have to be out the entire day, okay? You have to be out the entire day and if it's scorching heat, But then, many times when it comes to public grievances, it's the public who directly tells us if we go and report for them. Obviously, we don't act as law enforcement agencies, but we try to bring their problems to the light. So when doing that, and in fact, when through us, when they get a response, now all the pain goes away. Honestly, like the work you do and everything, it just goes away. It just feels rewarding, very rewarding to see people smiling again because a grievance of theirs has been brought to light by your platform, through your platform, and then being rewarded. Like when you look back, the sweat, the tears, or whatever, it all feels very rewarding. When they call you up saying, thank you so much for doing this for us. Thanks to your channel for doing this for us. So personally, there are many, and I cannot at the moment recollect at one or two, but then that in general will be my most rewarding sense of reward that I feel when I do such work. Yeah.
ঠিক আছে আজি লগা দিন যোনটো World Press Freedom Day আছে হয় না তো ইটলা first itu dunia me apni what comes to your mind when you hear the word World Press Freedom Day
Acha, to aji World Press Freedom Day will go bishi important din ase hoine mani jai. That's why United Nations community itlaga din to inega din ekta rakhibo, realizing the importance of freedom press. So see for me freedom of press will go without any outside influence na ahi gina media kan get press kan influence na puri gina tai can get hosta here see it present kurole dia do that for me would be freedom of press. Yeah.
acha to we will just wind up with this last question. You have been working for a few years as a field reporter and you've shared your experience. Getting with on public candidate a message through you that I don't what can we see that there is a margin laid out by people. Print karne alat aro digital punishment. It's just a few years that has been introduced in Nagaland specifically. So apni abhi public candidate message ekta should be from the side of a journalist, na reporter ekta la stand still na apni viewers can be back with them in the bache.
Again, one way like print media is print media and broadcasting is broadcasting. Both have the same goals. Itu public but Nagaland people are yet to get used to it. Like officially, we can in 4 years we share na. Aru mohan sayo. 4 years for very 2025. So I feel like right now in this present day and age, if you compare Nagaland in the other world, also digital broadcasting media, they play a big role in bringing things to life. And also technology do one it's just a tap away. So Manuan TV it plays a big role. Same as print media and digital also. So I would like to request the public to also now maybe start speaking up in front of the media also. Grievances kumataga, issues kumataga light te annual mon ase koilo ini print TV ase aro digital kan moribi anhigena inega more comfortably tai kan nijor get express koile dio parile pauna aro moi kan most of the time when we go and speak to people on issues, most of the time mota manu kotha kore but maiki manu koile ekdam sabi one time I remember just before the state elections, ekta maiki lodi apni vote kurule na naikona. So she walked away from the camera and said, "Moi to itu kando na jane." They're just not comfortable. That just shows that she's not comfortable. Itu karne niratai kan bi iman speak up kuribo. That will be more helpful. Aro kuanishna the press at the end of the day is for the people. Itu karne public kan hoile bi both print hoile bi digital hoile bi ahi gina kotha kuri gina tai kan na views share kurile do it at the end of the day will benefit the public only. Turne moila message to it has. And thank you for speaking to me.
Thank you so
my
much.
views.
Viewers kan Arabi one la ekta yade second guest ekta se juntu ichado nearly a decade taibi print la media la de kam guina he ase to aibi tai la viewpoint pravi World Press Day la opore aro tai laga work ethics kan na opore bi olop pustach krilo. Thank you so much for speaking to us, for giving us the time. Abuni olop abuni la introduction olop kui dibina.
Acha, mula naam to CS. I've been working in print media for some time now. So the role that this press plays, especially in a democratic, in this global scene, well, I think it's a very essential component of our society because sabi democratic world koi thakile bi US noile bi India hoile bi global freedom press freedom index bishi low higina ase itela saisugule na aro surprisingly, India is even ranked lower. Mokala neighboring countries like Nepal, idukan barbi niche hogi na sido. So it's quite disturbing. So democracy, it's one of the components of democracy to press, to be as a press freedom na. So I think it has been abused. A lot of media companies been owned by it's losing its essence, like owned by large companies itu kan na. So I think it's been threatened. The very essence of press freedom has been threatened, especially in a national context. Yeah.
Now, what do you think in regard to Nagaland context as well? Freedom of press to one yade one rasa pradikhinaya ase ki yes, print media was there from a very long time, but also digital broadcasting kan introduced kuna a few years wishna. To ini itu kan sab so saina jaise gule one Nagaland la context dibi press kando freedom exercise kuro parena na para nishna ase.
In my opinion, I think up to a considerable extent, I think we are exercising the freedom of press, freedom of the press. Chotu motu kando, I mean, there are a lot of intricacies and also complexities. Society hisab devi kitaba to mohan freedom to unconsciously a lot to curtailed kurde na, a lot to ekta limitations bhi thaki jai. Lebi, I think in a very general and in a very broader context, I think the freedom of the press, Nagaland hisab to, I think it's working fine as of now. Yeah.
So also in related to the previous questions I asked earlier, can we also know, what can be done to protect and promote press freedom globally? Because you cited some examples, you talked about the factors of journalism globally, and also, is there any example of a time when you think that press freedom was challenged, and how do you think journalists responded to it?
Of course, Mohan Kamguradu, of course, we come across certain challenges, not on a daily basis, only often and time and again I look to quit again in a situation na, like sometimes from society la pressure te community pressures na in a time to I think of course we are not denying that. We also have to understand that our society also functions in a certain way. So I think we also have to take all those things into consideration sometimes. Yeah, that's what I feel. Press, see, moi age to be with different news channel. I was discussing the same thing. Everyone should understand the importance and the significance that a media of how the media should exercise the freedom. Na, aji moi ho pare, kali apni ho pare na. When we start reporting things in a very biased manner, so our consistency to thaki jai shugule na, who will be at loss? Makhane ho do na. So it's the public. Of course, news reporting they do. We follow a very strict rule that is our opinions are not to be added.
Yes.
Yeah. So our reports should be unbiased, unopinionated. So, kina say situation, kina say we have to present it as it is in a situation. I think, and I think as reporters, as conscious reporters, we also have to uphold those kind of principles in our everyday dealings. Yeah, that's what I feel. And agir bi hodi dhagishi moike kina protect kuribo. See, there is no definitive rule. Ina protect rule lagi, no libi ina rule lagi, ina dur nai. Maybe as long as you extend your support, like freedom to keep the freedom of the press intact, I think that's a very important thing which every one of us should understand as a society if we are to continue to grow. No? That's what I feel.
Okay. So in regard to that as well, we are all aware of the freedom of press and up to what extent we can go and what not else. But also, can you also let the viewers or maybe the public know that we as journalists we do pertain to a certain set of regulations and rules. So itula opore all of public khan gi apni la site pra bhi all of bujai dibi na
Yeah.
how we generally operate, in
Yeah, yeah.
certain situations.
Like there are certain sensitive cases which especially if it's a criminal case, then police can be, since the issue is under investigation, Mohammed you can reveal corona pari jabo, and then identity of certain victims, not all, only in some cases, especially with POSCO and all, na. I mean, in a Kande, Mohammed, we are not at the freedom because those freedoms are, I mean, it's been curtailed by the union government directives from the ministry itself. So in a kan kitaba situation in a thakeda.
What role do you think social media plays in shaping public discourse?
I think to a large extent social media is often being misused, especially in discoursing on various public issues. I think sometimes it goes out of hand. Of course, there are some genuine and real people who are actually interested, who has certain things to contribute. Maybe most of the time, we also come across people trolling, especially now online trollers. They just try to disparage one another and try to mudsling. So I think it's not something that can be taught in school, but it also stems from some very basic rules and etiquettes that we have to learn from home itself. Most of the times, people with fake accounts, with made-up accounts, they come, they troll people. So I think, in a large way, it has been misused because, of course, it's a very wide and open battlefield where anyone can come and it's like an open battlefield. Only we also have to be smart, and also we also have to try to maintain some level of decorum. I think that's what I feel.
And I think one la Naga la scene divi saina jaishikule. Not only Naga will be in as of the whole world. When it comes to a certain, reason where we can all come together, where the public or the society can come together, one keyboard warrior si bishiwala, aro up front the manuhi bishiwala, komtiwala hijaina. In a situation we have new face Krishna.
Yes, of course. We can also cite an example with this recent various protests held in this capital city here. So, most of the times there are less doers, and more talkers. So, of course, social media, if it can be used in a good way, like especially jaga kan alag jaga thagine, sometimes we need to discuss on certain things. So it's very helpful in those kind of situations. When it's been used only for trolling and for disparaging, insult guru na, I think it's been used in the wrong way. That's what I feel.
How do you think, journalists adapt to the rapidly changing media landscape? Your opinion?
Yeah. See, it's very fast. It's going on very fast. The changes. It's I started working in the local media when I was doing my graduation, so it started early on. So it has changed a lot, especially article to internet. We busy baluche na, and a lot of things can be done quickly. Aru tools can be. It's more readily available. Some time ago, internet email like it takes a lot of time. And then apart from that, there are also a lot of tools that have emerged on the internet, especially apps kan. But I think in order to stay relevant, I think we also have to adapt to certain changes. Yeah, that's what I feel.
Now we are moving forward towards the end of this discussion, but what do you think the future of journalism looks like, and what skills do you think journalists need to succeed in the context of Nagaland?
There is no stop. I don't think. I don't think there will be any stoppage to journalism because in one way or the other it will keep evolving. Yeah, some time back, few some I mean it's a while now that print media has come into existence, but now there's with the emergence of YouTube and everything, social media platforms, these digital news networks are also coming into prominence now. So I think it'll keep changing. So, but one thing we have to ensure is that the plurality, the true essence, the ethics, as we say, of journalism should be maintained and upheld in every shape, in every way possible.
Can you also, tell us about, see, in whatever organization it is, we do find that there is a union to uphold the interests of the specific group of people. So in regard to Kohima as well, or maybe in Nagaland, do you think there are, can you highlight us about the various press clubs and how do they look after the journalists working under them?
Yeah, I'm as a member of Kohima Press Club. Of course, we have our president and a group of executives, and we're also preparing to celebrate our 25th anniversary next year. It also functions like other clubs, but it's very centric to the welfare of its members. Yeah, especially it's not like we're immune to adverse situations. In a time, situation thick no kuma journalists can do paise maybe physically no in terms of from various angles digdar hoite she na hoshigulibi the club also comes forward, so it's very important. Yeah, yeah.
Sure, significant role that it
Yes, it plays. Yeah, especially for its members and also in the society in the larger context.
Okay, so the last question here being, I would like to ask regarding from the view of the public. To moi khan manu khan itia do kwan nishna do print media de hubi no usually digital broadcasting ido media kan de hubi itia do sob manu iniga agere anigina dikina. There are still some people wondering, how to be a journalist or maybe what is actually required to be a journalist. In your questions can be ahena. So abunila view Rabi, what would you like to, advise to those aspirants who want to be a journalist in the coming days? Aro, what is the most important thing that you would like to let them know?
See, most of our job is mainly in putting into words certain things like expressions, manula emotions kan, manul ki kuishe dukan. Most of the things we have to put those into words, and it's very important for us to understand other people's perspective. I think it's not an easy thing to learn. We learn gradually as we go on. One of the main thing is we have to be skilled to a level, especially in communication skills, na. Likha kan aru especially manaki question how to frame certain questions so that the truth can be brought out. Surely, apart from that, I don't think there are any set of rules that needs to be followed in order to become a journalist. As long as you have the zeal to work for and do something good for the society, I think. I think that's enough determination to become a journalist. Yeah.
Thank you so much for speaking to Global Window. We wish you the best in the future as well. To our viewers kan, abni amra hunio paishe ki yade two journalists one do hishugle print media ratail na view opinions share krishe aro how the journalists in Nagaland are functioning aro ta kana struggles kan miki ase no hishugle tan rabi challenges kan ki face kuna ase aro future of journalism in Nagaland la opor batchit kora dikhio paishe aro ekta field reporter rabi ta kan field de jana report kram de tan kinia situation la lok pai no hishugle how do they cope with the changes in their day to day life reporting it on la opor sob dikhio parise to yade ami an sopra aro mala viewers kan gibi janai diole mon jado UNESCO la recommendation de United Nations General Assembly 1993 de yade aji May 3rd World Press Freedom Day to observe krigna ami an sopra jani pai ase aro ekta role of media no ishikle role of journalism mala desh ti hubi mala state ti hubi mala state da context se khoda ko aji do kiman ekta important role ekta ase moan ra journalist kan ra moan field de jaigna no ishikle moan mala desk pra anchor kan krem dibi moan ra we always take it into account that we take both side of the story the genuineness of the story inya ishik aro itula opere truth to ki ase aro we are the voice to the voiceless kwado ekta mala public ki balwa janai dio monja ase aro kwanishna mala discussion agere man la various reporters aro journalists cannot batchit krem de mukhan naga manan bra itia bi moan bra bui khai ginai ase moan bra itu kuishikle manwa janishikle itu labi ekta stigma ekta dangor ekta ase to moan bra moan la public khan gi bi janai dio monja the World Press Freedom Day de moan bra bi moan la kam do paratak moan bra exercise krina ase with full transparency aro kwanishna do moan bra we always take into consideration moan bra various rules and regulation laid out kurigina ase journalism la field dibi itu kam bi follow krina ahe itu karni moan la naga public khan gi bi abunian bi issue khan dagi shikule abunian ge abunian grievances kan thaki shikle abunian bi buina khaina mon gi approach koribi aro for a better society for the better functioning of government corruption la hobi no shikle society de mon laga naga manon la society de mon ge dictar dia la public khan ge dictar dia la inyan bi issue thaki shikle abunian bi itu hotai you can always look up to the journalists be it print or be it digital broadcasting you can always come up to the front aro mon brabi mon abunian la voice radio paro gna janai dia se aro mon la viewers ki janai dio mon jado ekta free press to issue kule moan ba accountability transparency agere kwanishna do ini han ani de aro mokhan laga context de saina jai shikle Nagaland de do moan harassment hwala moan la journalist kan ge no issue kule death threat kan pala inyan do ajidak to nai hopefully holibi itu khan future de nahibo gna hope krese aro kwanishna do dusra jaga dusra desh aro dusra country and the saina jai shikule journalists kan do they even face death holibi ajidak to Nagaland la scene didu inya nai akha ase ki you know moi khan la public kan hobi moi la government kan hobi journalist kan kundu channel bra hobi no shikle kundu medium bra bi hobi ta khan bra up front de aigina moan laga naga society kan laga voice kan huigina ahiam de nothing bad will befall on the journalist itula akase the viewers kan itia karone yade khatam kori dibo holibi yade itu sal laga May 3rd 2025 laga World Press Freedom Day la team do ase reporting in the brave new world aro the role of artificial intelligence in the freedom of press and media laga ase to akase ki viewers kan aji jundu din de World Press Freedom Day de journalists kan all over the world itu de acknowledge krigina ahe ase to kwan nishna do mona public kan hobi mona viewers kan hobi abunyan rabi abunyan la rights kan exercise krigina aro dade journalists kan rabi tan la rights aro mo kan la certain rules aro code of conduct kan it one sop to utilize krina abunyan ra aji journalists kan ge trust kra nishna ahadin kan dibi inya trust kurigina man ikilot cooperate kurigina jai thake okina akha se journalists kan sob ke happy World Press Freedom Day wish kuri dia se Global Window ra itia karone itu ase for more news and updates keep watching Global Window this is Nufu Ayer with video journalist Ari Jinger